Monster! Tim O'Drakery.
I am very sorry to hear about the death of G. I will get it not tonight. It was not.
Yo, that is old news.
Hello, Sue. Welcome to Valhalla.
Hello, Colonel. Thor has quite an interesting homeland, doesn't he?
Why they got Invisible Woman sounding like a high school?
There's look, listen, not, sure. Welcome to Valhalla. I'm glad.
Oh, got something to say to his wife, though.
Welcome to Valhalla.
Hey, how are you? That thing, look, come back.
Greetings, Mr. Fantastic. Welcome to Valhalla.
This is certainly a unique dimension, isn't it, Vision?
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
Greetings. I am sorry to hear of...
Hi again. Come.
Focus.
Yes, what is it?
All right.
Well done. You have proven yourself to be valiant warriors.
Don't you ever
Door
doubt
to
us.
The Hall of the Honored Fallen is now open to you.
Yes.
Well done.
I didn't think you would have anything to say.
I can't go there.
Oh, is your tone a little different now, Sif?
Greetings, human. I would have you know, Valhalla is a very sacred place of the Asgard dead. It is only because of the not you must it quite for it. You
All right.
Get my way.
I can't go that way.
yes. What else? You
See, it's definitely saved, but like, it seems like it didn't say.
Yes? How might I help? I know. There, yes. Sir. Of course. Yes? How? Yes. I can't go there.
Can't you?
Hello, valiant. Welcome to the Hall of the Honored Fallen, where the courageous dead of Asgard feast and await the final battle, Ragnarok. And to think I died just yesterday.
A book!
Welcome to the Hall of Val. Fare thee well.
All right. I can't go that way.
Why is this here? I mean, I love content as much as everyone, but...
More food.
You gonna throw it now, huh? A tough guy?
Think I died just yesterday.
Wow, what if that had hit me, you murderer? Wait, so when you die, you end up in here?
I tell you what, life is sweet at the X-Mansion. If it weren't for that big blue ape guy asking me when I'm gonna leave, I'd stay there forever.
Great. So what can you find? What can you do to find out if Black Widow's a traitor?
I've got one last idea to get solid evidence against her, but I need the password into her shield. It's either Ivan Petrovich or Dr. Inez. Talk to Hank Pym about it.
Why would Hank know?
Isn't that Valkyrie something? Maybe I should, go over there and introduce myself.
How did you get to Valhalla?
Beast
That's a great
and
question.
a friend of his, Forge, I think, had some kind of teleportation device they used on me. But they told me I have to get back to Earth pretty quick.
Why is that?
Something about keeping a lock on me could tear the space-time continuum and, I don't know, destroy reality as we know it.
What do you think of the X-Mansion?
That.
Oops. No. Oh, shit.
Thanks. When you get back from your mission.
Oh, no.
Thanks.
Okay, I can change my answer.
Makes me wish I was a mutant. Huh, they've got everything there. Tennis courts, a pool, and a sub-basement full of high-tech gear.
Sounds like you could stay there forever.
That would be great. But Beast keeps following me around and asking me when I'm gonna leave. You can thank...
Shut up. Always asking for money. Piece of garbage.
So what do you think? Do I stand a chance with Valkyrie?
You stand no chance with Valkyrie.
Wow. Would you look at this place? Never seen so many dead guys having the time of their lives.
You were pretty close to Jean Grey, wasn't ya?
Me and Jeannie had something going on.
Well,
Not exactly sure what, but it was a powerful something. I'll tell you.
you think you two might have gotten romantic?
Who knows? Not that I stood a chance with Cyclops mucking things up. But now it's too late, ain't it? Guess I'll never know what she and I could have had.
You don't seem that upset, Wolverine. I ain't gonna lie to you. Where'd you get those claws?
They're mine, but they're made out of bone. I got this coating of adamantium over them thanks to the sadists at Weapon X.
Why did they coat your claws with adamantium?
It wasn't just my claws, it was my whole body. My bones will rust before they break. And those butchers did it to make me the ultimate killing machine.
What happened at Weapon X?
They drugged me and tried to make me their puppet. Then they slipped up, and I showed them what a big mistake they made.
There were
But I
other...
wasn't the only one they got.
There were other victims of Weapon X?
Yeah, lots of them. Sabretooth, Maverick, Silver Fox. And that nutball Deadpool.
Nutball.
Yeah, sure.
Burr, 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 burr.
No problem.
Hey, what's the... Yeah.
Why does that scoundrel named Weasel stare at me so?
Does Weasel make you nervous?
Don't make me laugh. A puny man like that is of no concern to me, though I must admit, his stare is rather unnerving. Even to one such as I, who have endured the horrid sights of countless battlefields.
Who are you?
I am Valkyrie, a chooser of the slain. My warrior sisters and I ride over battlefields and escort the worthy fallen to Valhalla.
You bring them to this hall?
Yes. Here they are honored and can feast to their heart's content. Then, on the day of Ragnarok, they will battle once again and prove their courage one last time.
How do you know who to take from the battlefield?
I can see a fire around them, a death glow, that signals the warrior is close to the end. Few other gods have this power. Long ago, I was allowed to roam the battlefields of Earth and look for worthy warriors. But Odin put a stop to that. I am now limited to the battlefields of Asgard.
Thank you.
Fare thee well, human.
Yes.
Your friend Weasel continues to watch me. Perhaps I will close his eyes permanently, though I must...
Yeah, you know, this team needs a catchy theme song. Something that mentions shaking your booty.
A theme song?
We can call ourselves Deadpool and his lackeys. And we can all get matching uniforms. Something in a dark blue. That color really sets off my eyes.
We don't need new costumes.
Yeah, we do. With capes. Look at Dr. Doom. He gets all kinds of respect. And you know why? Because he has a big scary cape.
He's also a murdering psychopath.
Well, there is that. But you can't deny the cape really makes him look tough. But let's go him one better. Let's wear elbow pads and shin guards with spikes coming out of them. Now that's tough.
You need to get serious.
No, I don't think so. You know how people talk crazy because they're insane? I talk crazy to keep from going insane. If only you knew what's around in my brain. Thanks to Weapon X.
You're from Weapon X?
Yeah. I went there because they promised to cure my cancer.
Were they successful?
In a way, they gave me a healing factor like Wolverine's. And so many scars, I'm never taking this face mask off.
Maybe we do need a theme song.
I like your thinking, Sunshine. Hey, we could even form a band.
A superhero band?
Oh, heck yeah, just think of it. With Storm singing lead, Wolverine on the bass, and a Thing on drums. And not to brag, but I play a pretty mean bagpipe.
It's been unusual as always, Pull Dead.
I've got a rash. Wanna see it? So, back to I've got...
Hey, got all the Black Panther. What up, cuz? See, that was cool, man. This game was cool. Storm, Thunderball.
Greetings, and welcome to the Hall of Valhalla.
Whoa, Valkyrie, what are you doing? Word has it, you and Loki don't get along.
That is putting it lightly. Though we were raised as brothers, Loki has always held me in great disdain.
Why does he hate you?
I don't know. Perhaps because he is of frost giant blood. Perhaps he needed more attention from our father as we were growing up. Whatever the cause, he is a vile and deceitful creature.
What does Odin think of you and Loki fighting?
For many years, my father overlooked Loki's misbehavior, and many were the times that he tried to bring peace to us. But alas, he failed.
What happened?
My half-brother's hatred grew, and his name changed from the god of mischief to the god of evil. Since then, he has not only attempted to destroy me, but to take the throne of Asgard.
Thank you.
Fare thee well.
Whoever they got to voice Thor, pretty good.
Hello again, my friend.
Hello. This is quite the party they have here, isn't it?
How are things at the X Mansion?
People are still pretty shocked about losing our teammate in Mephisto's realm, but having Weasel there is a nice distraction.
How's that?
Beast discovered Weasel down in the sub-basement hacking into Cerebro. Forge caught him trying to get into the X-Jet hangar, and Emma Frost found him trying to start up Wolverine's motorcycle.
What do you think of Colonel Fury?
He's always struck me as a man who's fair and wise, but after seeing the super soldier serum program, And the Atlantean outpost? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Has Colonel Fury lost the ability to know right from wrong? What justifies creating those bestial super soldiers or spying on innocent neighbors?
Good points. How did you get your powers?
I am a mutant. I was born with the power to affect the weather. It didn't activate until I became a teenager.
Well, that's different.
Yes, for some people, a little too different. Take Senator Kelly, for instance. He'd like to have all mutants rounded up and put in jail just because they are different.
Hey, we saved him, though. He's changed. Thank you.
Anytime. Hello. Was there something else?
Yes, what is it?
Ooh, another disc. Hey, give me that. Thor. I know you like it how I mean.
And to think I died just yesterday.
Do you lose your memory when you die? This man's gonna shut up.
Now this is my kind of party. Look at all this food. Almost makes me wish I was dead.
When did you first meet Reed Richards?
Me and Stretch was roommates back in college. Of course, we wouldn't have been if his first roommate hadn't have been such a yo-yo.
Who was his first roommate?
Victor Von Doom. The guy took an instant disliking to Reed and me, which is quite a surprise, considering what an amiable chap I am.
How did you get the name The Thing?
I kinda gave it to myself. I mean, look at me. I'm not exactly something you'd see walking down the fashion runways of Paris.
You sound embarrassed by your looks.
Well, wouldn't you be? I got a face even a grandma could hate.
Word has it, you're a pilot.
Yep. After college, I joined the Air Force and got my wings. I'm not half bad as a jet jockey, if I do say so myself.
Didn't you fly Reed Richards' spaceship? Me?
Oh, it always comes back to this, don't it? Yeah, I was flying when the ship got hit by that radiation. That's when we became the Fantastic Four.
Thank you, Thing.
No problem.
Alright.
Hey, how you doing?
Man, you ain't got nothing to say to your buddies. It's a pretty nice haul here. You had an exclamation over your head.
Well done.
You already said that.
I can't go that way.
You could if you tried harder. 40,000.
Onward, my friends.
Onward.
Thunderball was one of 3 inmates who helped the villain known as the Wrecker escape from prison. He was also there when the Wrecker's powers were reactivated by a bolt of lightning. And due to that bolt of energy, Thunderball received a portion of those powers. Watch yourselves against Thunderball. The man's as smart as he is strong. Attack them!
This is like not a great team for 40,000 points.
Is everyone alright?
Like nobody here I think can kill people quickly. Oh, you mother trucker. Well. Dude, her moves, man, they are not meant for groups of people. Does this move do anything? That ball is, sure it's fun. Don't do anything. Damn, Batman's got 10 points I'm not using. Large shield that will deflect projectiles from anyone. Projectile attacks. I remember this move. It's so weak, though. Get up! Jesus. She died? Let's start over.
We're back in action.
Thunderball was one of...
Destroy the human.
I will say the propeller arms is a good way to back people up. Create some space. Asshole. Jeez, man. Yeah, look, nobody on the team is good at wiping people away. Quickly. Yeah, screw it. I think we gain this one more time and then we move on.
No mercy.
Throughout
throughout the history of the NBA, there has always been players who had a brother or father who played or were still playing in the league. So today we're going to go through different players that qualify for this group, if they're really talented or they only made the league because of their last name. Our first player is definitely probably know his father, Del Curry, a lot. Obviously, if you know anything about basketball, you definitely know that Curry is one of the best players of this past generation, the best shooter of all time, and one of the best players of all time with 4 championships and 2 MVPs. But what about his brother, Seth Curry? Seth is currently out with a back injury after signing with the summer. He's definitely not as good as Steph, but still 61.6 true shooting percentage. He's definitely overshadowed by the success of his brother, but I still say he's pretty talented. Our next player is LaMelo Ball. LaMelo is the brother of Lonzo Ball and LiAngelo Ball, who we'll talk about later. LaMelo is a passer. Sometimes it looks like he's even trying, but he can still put up 20 or 30 a night. So definitely talented. But what about LiAngelo, undrafted in 2018 and never actually played in the NBA? He stopped playing last year and is now pursuing a rap career, so not talented. One of the best players of all time, LeBron James, once said that he wanted to be able to play with his son in the NBA. And in 2024, the Lakers drafted his son, Bronny James, with the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA draft. But is he really talented, or is he only in the league because his dad is LeBron? This one is a bit hard to judge. He definitely wasn't good as first year, but now he's picking up a bit of form as Spurs. So he's not talented, but he's getting there. Our final players are the Antetokounmpo brothers, Thanasis, Kostas, and Alex. They're all brothers of all-time power. Out of the 4, the first way to win a championship was actually the Lakers in 20. But the next year, Giannis and Thanasis would win their own championship. Kostas actually isn't in the NBA anymore, but plays in Greece now. Thanasis is currently averaging 1. I think there's not much else to say other than that. And I would just really leave it at Giannis is really the only talented one out of it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.
Of course, wins a championship, he's in the conversation for the greatest. Kuzi couldn't dribble with his left hand. You know, he was being guarded in fireman.
How many times have you heard that sentence? And a follow-up question. How many times did you hear that sentence come out of the mouth of somebody young and impressionable, or from the mouth of a modern-day player? Plumbers and firemen. Which I find funny because plumbers and firemen aren't anywhere near as soft as these players are today.
I'm starting to hate everyone in the 90s that played basketball, that whole group, because they just think they shit don't stink.
Right.
Like, you know, you got, Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, both 6'7", both weigh 210. Talking about they're going to stop somebody in today's game. Like, nah. 6'7", 210, like, you are a little guard in today's game. You guys are little guys.
Can you imagine dropping LeBron in the 75? Like, just drop LeBron now that you know in 75. I was like, bro.
It's like they forget evolution, so they're like, well, this game game's soft, they flop too much.
I think it's more skill.
A little acting here. Yeah. That's a comment out. That's right.
To try to get Bogdanovich to react.
And to understand rules, right? So if a player can get you in foul trouble because you're always out of place, that's a skill. But I said it's not a flop, it's a skill.
Somebody runs into a locker room, a skill. I'm not saying mental gymnastics when Davis. It's not a gun, it's a stick. Arenas.
Holy dodo! Which one of these items don't belong in an NBA locker room? A jersey, a basketball, or a blicky?
The man mass produces bad takes on an assembly line like Henry Ford. I believe NBA greats are the most disrespected greats out of any sport. I don't hear NFL fans or NFL players talk anywhere near as bad as NBA players and fans talk of those who came before, an older generation. I think that's mostly due to the fact that everybody just kind of knows, and it goes without saying, the sport was far more brutal and tough back then. And a lot of people could not play to the ages that they can play now in the NFL because it was just simply impossible with how you were getting hit back then. Baseball probably respects its pioneers more so than most sports, at least to my understanding in the West. I don't follow hockey like that, but I've been friends with people who were big hockey fans, and I seldom heard any mention or iota of disrespect when it came to previous generations of players. It's only unique primarily to basketball, even globally when I think of football or hand-a. I don't hear people talking bad about Pele. I don't hear people talking bad about Maradona or anybody. It feels like this level of disrespect and indifference is unique to basketball. Not saying that this doesn't exist in any other sport, but I think it exists no less in the NBA. And it seems almost a given when one generation of basketball passes on to another, the current will shit on the previous, and vice versa. Your average NBA fan considers anything that took place prior to 19 as if it exists then. And you have people with TikTok accounts and social media platforms all over the place saying, this player of right now would cook this player, or this player would drop them back there, just like what Williams said. Because they give so much in the way of courtesy to the player that they then drop in the past. But the past players don't get anything. And you saw a lot of these brain rot arguments arise with that redone with the 90s trend, where people just look at it on its face and say, LeBron, put him in 70s, he wins all the rings that decade. Why does LeBron get to go back in time with his knowledge, his resources, everything that contributed to his current physique, and the players of then are left as they were? No changes, no anything. They just now have to compete against a player that's afforded everything in the way of resources of today. The nutrition, the conditioning, the knowledge. Example. Someone says they can go back in time to antiquity and take over. Back then, if you lived to see your 13th birthday, you were to be able to do that. You may not be taking any physical items with you, but you're going back in time with, I don't know, the knowledge of today. You're going back in time with the luxuries afforded to you by today's healthcare. You're going back in time with the ability to not die by a splinter. But do those same cavemen get the advantages that you have? No, because then the fight would be far more fair, wouldn't it? Give them iced out baths and cryo chambers. If not, then the hypothetical matchup
why do
is
they keep on stuff?
Next time, maybe do a little research. To understand that these players back then were flying cold private jet taxis to games. They were taking trains and subways. There was also
Quiet
no
dog.
such
How did she
thing,
die?
very little in the way of care of mental
Invisible
health.
Woman died?
It didn't
What is
matter
going on?
what you were going through, you were just expected to play. Not to mention the training facilities were far worse than they are now. For any amenity afforded a player back then, you have 20 to 30 per amenity they had now.
Batman can do
And
this.
they were being paid so significantly less than your average role player gets. Tobias Harris made more money in his career thus far than the entire league combined for certain years and stretches of decades. If you do that time travel scenario, all of those players there are at a disadvantage no matter how good they were.
It's good to meet you too. You must be Thunderball.
You were way out of your league here.
I guess we're going to find out real soon, aren't we?
This is going to be very painful.
No one tries to balance it out. Nobody tries to come up with a logical argument or think about these things because they just want
he can't
the
see
player
me.
they really like to be able to win. And
we
they
saw
want
that.
to shit on the player they don't care about because that was so old back then. Barely anyone's playing. And nobody's going to sit here and pretend like every player back then was amazing and had tons of skill and they could do so much damage to the players of now. But we aren't going to sit here and pretend like we don't see the players of now lacking in basic fundamentals. We also aren't going to sit here and pretend there isn't a crack epidemic of three-point shooting in this league as opposed to back then where there was barely any. Even if you made them, you would get benched because they saw it as a circus shot. It was just a completely different game, different rules, different time. So for you to put a player of now back then, you got to contextualize this hypothetical matchup. What rules are we playing by? Is hand checking allowed? Is traveling going to be called with consistency like it did back then as opposed to now where everybody can just carry the ball? In order to have a fair, honest, and balanced basketball discussion, these things would have to get brought up. Nah, bro, I don't care. We done with the 90s. You can't talk to those people without losing IQ. But I can't sit here and pretend as though these individuals themselves aren't being reactionary to what some of the old heads have been saying for generations. No matter who steps foot into the league, no matter what talent.
Could have fooled me. What? Why did we only get broads? Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. I don't want to play as this team again. No, but it's not fair if I do it as someone else.
They dazzle us with, oh wow, look at that, never seen that. I've seen that before, that's old. Back in my day, so-and-so could do that, I could do that, I used to do that in the YMCA, I used to do that. It breeds resentment, anger, frustration. So both generations clash, and they can't have meaningful discussions without getting toxic about one another. I do think that's been a long-standing problem, and you wouldn't have had such a disrespectful, brain-dead movement and we done with the 80s and 90s if not for the old heads constantly looking down on the new talent. It goes hand in hand in a way. You can say that happens with other sports, but I think it's retelling and just that exists in the NBA more so than other sports. And some of these old highlight reels you see Will Chamberlain. Are people honestly gonna sit here and say those two guys couldn't get in a time machine and come to today's game with all of the luxuries that are afforded with these players today and not be as good as a lot of the stars that we have now?
I'm limited by the technology of my time.
Imagine cryo, ice chamber, therapy, chef, Ramsay nutritionist, enhanced will to manage and doesn't have to play 82 games with today's baddies? That's the greatest player of all time! Her album was doo-doo on a stick, though. My goodness, I might have to divorce her. Luckily, I have a spare. They had the build, they had the physical gifts, they had the basketball IQ, and they had heart, and they had it in spades. Simply because back then, your career was not promised. You couldn't do like today and get a guaranteed contract and rest on your laurels and not do anything, get generational wealth automatically. Even the contracts of then weren't good enough to last them a few years. They had to keep themselves focused. They had to be ready and primed no matter what. It wasn't something to be taken lightly or sure. Now you have players who could barely even step foot into high school and they're given golden promises. You're going to get this. You have this sneaker deal. You've got big social media presence. At some point, your love of the game is going to have to power you through all of this lack of notion. Because how can a player truly focus and get the best out of themselves if the end game content is given to them almost day one? What's the point of even trying anymore? I'm set for life. Unfortunately, that's a byproduct of how big basketball has become. But I find it highly unfortunate that the lifestyle of what the game provides you rather than the game itself is the primary motivation and objective for a lot of new players coming in. These debates are always going to be a part of any sport. It's just with the NBA and basketball, it seems to do more so to bury people, set the stage for those of now who laid the foundation, rather than appreciate both eras and what they had to offer. Just imagine you yourself being an NBA great, having done so much for the sport, helped making it global, just for somebody with TikTok accounts to talk about how trash you were and you couldn't do this, that, the other, and you're a bum, you're a firefighter. It's really lame, and it's a shame that it's part of the NBA community. It's just something that's not really gonna go away. It highly irritates me, but that's the job of us sensible individuals. We have to educate them and tar and feather them and throw them into a deep hole without sunlight. Okay, not without sunlight, we'll give them air occasionally. Put a hole in a box. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think about what I've said so far. Are there other sports you feel that give as much disrespect as the NBA and some of its fans give as previous generations? Or are you of the same opinion as I that this is somewhat primarily unique to the NBA, at least far more so than any other sport? Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe if you are new. Thank you all so very much for watching. See y'all on the next one.
It should have been me, not him.
What are you doing?
Doja, I heard you date white dudes.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Joking. Obviously. Clearly. I'm not that down bad. I wouldn't consider such a thing. Speaking of considering...
What are you doing?
His Airness, Michael Jordan, despite defying the impossible, despite using physics as a doormat and treating gravity like a side chick, and despite being, when it comes to sports, greatness personified, his very impact on the NBA has left a dilemma or quandary of sorts. One may even say,
Mike ruined basketball.
wow, no. Don't just shoot first and ask questions never. Allow me to explain before you end my life. I'm not under the influence or anything while making this video, but I can't say the same for Onyx.
Michael Jordan cut his hair because of us. Michael Jordan cut his hair bald because of Onyx.
Because of Onyx. Get out of here.
Do the knowledge, nigga.
A lot of you are probably staring at the screen with the same expression Jordan has right here. I'm not saying he ruined basketball. I'm saying one said that by the name of Scottie Pippen, who I refer to as Pip here on this channel because of his foolish and downright delusional exploits as of late.
This is Scottie Pippen. I may go as far to say Mike ruined basketball. In the 80s, on the playgrounds, you'd have everyone moving the ball around, passing to help the team. That stopped in the 90s. Kids wanted to be like Mike, air quotes. If I could be like Mike. Well, Mike didn't want to pass, didn't want to rebound, or defend the best player. He wanted everything done for him. That's why I always believed LeBron James was the greatest player this game has ever seen. He does everything and embodies what the game is truly about.
Bron Tomatons rejoice. His own teammate he won 6 titles with has betrayed him. Not so fast. Scotty Boomer.
Retirement is one of the toughest decisions every NBA star dreads making. Some players cling on to their spot past their prime, while others are forced to leave the game before establishing their legacy. And over the years, every retired NBA player has found a unique way to put this free time to use. Some see it as an opportunity to touch grass. For the rest, retirement is just the beginning of a second career in the limelight.
I have churros. I see what all the excitement. I had churros. Them churros.
This position gives them a chance to entertain, promote the NBA culture, and keep the OG fans interested in the game. However, there's one NBA champ who has sadly gone against the tide in every way possible. Of course, we're talking about Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, he's an idiot and a fool, but you know who he is. What's his name, Jack? Which one you talking about? Kendrick Perkins. Oh, he said it.
The former Celtics big man has made it his life mission to troll NBA players, take bizarre stands, and spin narratives so far from reality.
We do know this, that when it comes to MVP voting, 80% of the voters are white Americans, 20% are others.
And when he's not busy destroying the NBA culture on TV, he indulges in disturbing tendencies that leaves people wondering if there's a place in his following.
You ready for this one? What you need, I'll be apple perk.
It's your boy The Waste, live, and this is the story of the NBA's worst commentator. Now, judgment on the game, we have to take a quick look at his NBA career and how it ultimately shaped his perspective with a father who disappeared on him at 2 years old to pursue a basketball career in New Zealand. And just 3 years later, his mother would be tragically shot by a friend over a simple argument. With his dad still in another country, Kirk was left to take care of his grandparents, who, at the time, struggled financially. Growing up without a mom and a dad who left to play basketball but never made it to the NBA, lit a fire in Kirk that ultimately pulled him into the game of basketball. Now, there's no telling if he got into basketball to prove that he could actually surpass his dad in the game, or simply because he wanted to provide for himself and his grandparents. Either way, Big Perk would go on to become one of the most dominant high school players in Texas, standing at a staggering 6'10" frame, which might not sound like a lot, but in high school, this gave him a formidable presence. Perk was averaging 27.5 points, 16.4 rebounds, and 7.8 blocks as a senior, leading his school to a state title and earning a spot in the McDonald's All-American game when he was forced to break from high school to the NBA. In the 2003 NBA draft, Big Perk was selected as the 27th overall pick by the Grizzlies and was immediately traded over to the Boston Celtics. You might think he had finally gotten a chance to go all in the game, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case at all. For a good 3 years, Kendrick averaging a disappointing 3.8 points per game, which got fans wondering if he had the grit, but something changed in 2007. When the Celtics acquired star players Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett, paired with the dominant Paul Pierce to form the Boston Big Three era.
We're gonna be whatever, starting with this right here. The Three Amigos!
With the presence of these 3 elite players on the court, found his strength as a role player, which turned out to be doing dirty work for the team. And it all paid off as the Boston Celtics ended up winning the 2007-2008 NBA championship, earning Perk his first ring.
Championship since 1986.
Just 2 years later, the Celtics were back in the NBA. However, this would turn out to be the game that turned everything for Perk.
The switch is still the toughest guys in the NBA.
This is the championship, as the Lakers would own a 53-40 rebound advantage in Game 7. if they had was immediately traded to Oklahoma as the Celtics franchise, and at this point, his performance on the court had dropped even further. Plus, in that era of the NBA, the need for a bulky role player started to fizzle out guards to win. Unable to meet expectations, Perk was traded again to the Pelicans, where he averaged a sad 3.5 points per game. And after one season, Perk unfortunately dropped down to the G League, Canton Charge, before finally wrapping up his career. Now, we understand how far from impressive Big Perk's career in the NBA actually was, with a total average of 5.4 points, 5.8 rebounds in 14 seasons. And aside from his plays, were also making him a legend on Shacked and a Fool.
Number 5, Brunson is back. Texas fine. This is a free throw. Okay. Where did the ball go? Which way did it go? Which way did it go? And number 5 is my main man, Kendrick Perkins. Perk thinks he's Dr. J for a second. A reverse layup going Hawkins. Let me see that again.
Man, that's Texas, man.
Number 3, Kendrick Perkins. It has random screen on no reason. Wait, let me see that again. Watch. He's a legend. That's a screen. Watch Kendrick Perkins lead the fast Rick Bronson. Now he looks at the referee. Yeah, watch him yell at the ref. Watch him yell at the ref.
It's pretty obvious that he made a real impact in the game. So when he finally had a chance to promote the game via becoming a sports commentator, he immediately jumped on it. But surprisingly, what should have been a way to redeem himself quickly turned into something worse. Kendrick Perkins officially joined ESPN in 2019 as the NBA analyst alongside Gary Streisky. Initially, this seemed like a chance for NBA fans to see more of Perk since his retirement from the game. And acknowledging the fact that he had real-life experience on the court for 14 solid seasons, many fans' expectations on his opinions were pretty high. But as time went on, this excitement quickly began to wear off, as Kendrick didn't turn out to be who they thought. In a desperate need to prove himself to the NBA community, Perk was willing to work in conditions a normal person wouldn't put up with. I had to earn my stripes at that network. My first year and a half, I worked there for free. Working without pay for over a year just goes to show that Perk was willing to go to extreme lengths to prove that he was the man for the job. And whether you see this as hard work or plain desperation, Perk's need to prove him into doing everything possible to make a name for himself, even if it meant completely discrediting an NBA player and making insane accusations. Throughout the 2020 to 2022 NBA seasons, Nikola Jokic effortlessly bagged the MVP of the league. It was a feat Perk never dared to hope for, despite being a fairly good defensive player. Then, in 2023, Kendrick Perkins suggested the Nuggets center was undeserving of the award.
Are you sitting here saying that the reigning two-time league MVP who plays for the Denver Nuggets, his numbers bad? Is that what you're saying?
You heard what the hell I said. I said he had 8 games where he had single-digit shot attempts. And for a while, it was 9.5 assists he was at 8. And all of a sudden, I saw those shot attempts and his points go down, and I started to see his assists go up.
Technically, if his speculations were remotely true, it's not against the rule, but for the sake of respect in the NBA community, there wasn't any indication that the Joker was intentionally stat padding. And the fact that he won just 2 MVPs back-to-back over the last 2 seasons, it's obvious that Jokic was indeed a star player, which was beyond Perk's wildest dreams. So we're to discredit the future Hall of Famer. However, it didn't mean everyone was gonna let him say whatever he wanted, as another former NBA star and now head coach, JJ Redick, felt Perkins was utterly wrong with his moronic take.
I strongly disagree with this. And look, I've never been Nikola Jokic's teammate. If you ask anyone that's been around him, heck, I did it on Sunday night with Michael Malone. Nikola Jokic does not care about stats, does not care about averaging a triple-double. Nikola Jokic, I hate to tell everyone, doesn't care about winning an MVP. He cares about winning a championship. The idea that he's stat padding, but let's not make up a narrative about a player that is just so unbased in reality. I love you, but no.
In addition, some NBA fans suggested that Kendrick Perkins stat padding if it exceeds his career averages, while the rest claim that he's
unlimited amount of battering.
Be taking too many perks. You can literally struggle as couldn't discredit Jokic with this outrageous claim. His next move was, in a second attempt to undermine the Joker's efforts on the court, Perk made a wild accusation, but this time against the MVP voters.
When it comes to MVP voting, 80% of the voters are white Americans.
20%.
Even the look on Stephen A. Smith's face will give you an idea of how absurd perks take. Claiming that the MVP voters are racist and somehow white supremacists is absolutely ridiculous, considering that since the inception of the MVP voting system in the 80s, black players have won approximately 33 times compared to 11 times won by white players. In fact, for 3 years before Jokic won the ball in the 2020-21 season, the NBA MVP awards were won by...
No! We're done with this thing. Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 50.
Your number is 23.
23. Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 50.
Your number is 16.
16. Batman again. Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 50.
Your number is 46.
46. Human Torch is dead, I think, yeah. Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 40.
Your number is 10.
10. Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 50. That was Black Panther.
Your number is 35.
35. The Thing. Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 50.
The Thing.
Your number is 44.
44. Spider-Man. 2 of my revived heroes in this set.